that new whip. Hey, Jose the dude trip.
And we're live.
Welcome to BETT Records, where we talk about hot topics, ideas, and all the shit you really want to hear.
And we're live. Episode, whatever it is. Buffalo mac and cheese in hand.
And in mouth, obviously.
And in mouth. Yes, and in mouth.
I was going to say, you're the one that pushed record and you almost weren't even ready for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kept going. I was like, whatever. This is happening. So, you know what else is happening? Fantasy drafts all over the place. We had ours last week. We're all set, ready to go for this upcoming week's NFL Thursday kickoff. Pretty good draft overall. I don't know about you guys. We can get into it a little bit, but how do you feel like the draft went for you guys? I felt like I had a pretty good plan going into it, and then my plan quickly fell apart as round. I think about round 3 or 4 is when it kind of, maybe 4 or 5 is kind of when it fell apart for me. And I was just like, holy shit, this is nothing like what I've been preparing for a plan, and my plan just went completely out of the window by come round 4 and 5.
Well, and you had the first pick.
I knew what it'd be.
Right.
That's the shitty part. Is I knew what my first pick was for before
Right.
this last season even ended. I knew what my first pick was.
That's true. Then you had to wait all the way till you get your second and third back-to-back, then fourth and fifth. So kind of a different strat there. But nonetheless, kind of the same thing for me. Once Wyatt took Patrick Mahomes in the third, fourth round, I was like, okay, well, now Josh Allen's sitting here in the fourth round. He should be going in the second. So my plan of taking a quarterback in the 6th, 7th is out the window, and I went ahead and grabbed one. Now, do I regret the decision? I don't think so yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of do a little bit.
Yep. That's where I was at. Round 4 ripped around. Round 5 ripped around.
Were you planning to get Allen as one of your picks?
No.
No, you weren't planning on a quarterback? Okay,
Dude,
I know the back-to-backs
I was
are hard to
planning
plan.
on getting like Joe Burrow or somebody like that in like the 8th round. That was my plan.
Yep.
And then I saw round 5 come around and Jalen Hurts still sitting on the board, and I was like,
Yep.
all right,
Yep.
we're doing it.
Yep. That was definitely the one to grab because I knew, A, more people wanted him, B, I was going to take him in the 5th because that was my plan this whole time to take Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
But A, I have him in Andrew's league. B, again, I kind of already talked about how Josh Allen fell to me, and I felt like I had to pick him. But Q-Tip, how did your first couple of rounds go?
I think it went pretty good for me. Not exactly how I expected it to go either, but I'm pretty content with what happened to us. You know, I think I'm pretty happy with how it went. My team looks a lot better than it did last year, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, the 48 hours before, I knew I was 9th place. I knew the people that probably would fall. I had an idea, but I was between Swift and Barkley for my second running back, my second overall pick in the second round, that 204 spot. I decided to go with Barkley if he was there. If not, obviously I would have taken Swift. I don't remember who took Swift right before me, but
It was quick. Somebody took Swift quick.
Yep, right.
Way
I believe,
before ADP.
I thought, really? It was. I remember it was towards the end of the first, if not the second. But
No, it was like, if I remember right, it was, yeah.
I
Because
don't
Swift was
remember.
going like a top, he was like maybe the 10th pick, and I think somebody took him in like the middle first round.
maybe.
Because they didn't keep a keeper.
Yep, as passing the keeper, yeah. And I don't even remember. But Barkley fell to me. I'm skeptical about it, but he's poised for a good season. All of his interviews leading up to this previous week have been saying, you know, I'm ready for it. I'm hyped. I'm trying to prove everyone wrong, that kind of thing. So definitely kind of like that attitude going into it, and that's someone I'm looking for to kind of outperform their projections just due to hopefully their will and wanting to prove everyone wrong as well. So my biggest probably regret, and I can't even say that yet because I like this player better, but I have Josh Allen. I wanted Gabe Davis. I passed up on Davis to take Rashad Bateman.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I did is because Bateman is the number 1. He's got Lamar, I get it, but both they're mobile quarterbacks. Both of them should be throwing decently. Bateman's on his second year, again, wide receiver 1. I think he's going to have more upside than Davis, but I kind of wanted that stack. What did you think about
I was
this,
going
you guys?
for Davis, too.
Yeah, I know.
There was a couple guys I was going for, and I had a round that I was like, okay, well, here's where I'm going to pick them. And every time my pick came around, somebody picked them like 2 fucking picks before me, and I was like, God, son of a bitch, dude.
Yep. Do you
That's
remember
how my whole draft went.
Yeah. Well, do you remember what round you got Tom Brady in, Q-Tip?
It was, what was it, 7 or 8 maybe?
Yeah.
It's a good spot for
It's a good
Brady.
spot. Good
That's
spot.
what I'll say, yeah.
You happy with Brady's your quarterback?
I'm pretty happy with him, yeah, especially compared to last year, yes.
You didn't want Garoppolo again?
I didn't want
They
Garoppolo.
re-signed him.
I'm good on him.
But they re-signed him.
Somebody else can have him this year.
Oh. Someone else can definitely have him. Just looking else through here. I had to take Cole Kmet kind of later, punted the tight end due to taking Josh Allen so early. That also wasn't kind of my plan there. But I took Noah Fant as well as a backup. We'll kind of see what happens with that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I went, my strategy, like my round 2 and 3 went pretty much exactly according to plan.
Yep.
It was draft.
Sure, right?
Obviously, I had my Jonathan Taylor. And then pretty much every draft I was doing, I was ending up with Mark Andrews, which I do now. I didn't mind taking Mark Andrews in the end of the second.
Yep.
And then start of the third, I was often ending up with either Barkley or some other caliber starter.
Yep.
That. And I was like, okay, well,
top 20 single running back situation.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll take 2 backs, tight end. We'll call that good.
Sure.
Yep.
And that's exactly what I did. And then round 4 came around, and all the cute wide receiver 1s were pretty much off the board at that point.
Yep. Except for
I got Amon St. Brown.
Wide receiver 1.
And what I probably should have done there is I probably should have just taken another receiver instead of going for Jalen Hurts.
Meh.
But
who knows what you would have ended up with, though, is the thing. You could have taken, obviously, Tom Brady would have been there. I mean, I don't remember where Kyler fell as well, but I think they kind of all went that 5th round.
I didn't need any of those guys, so I wouldn't pick any of those last 2 people that you just said.
Who else would you be targeting if you didn't get Hurts?
I'd go Hurts, or I'd take a quarterback in like the 10th fucking round.
Right. Yeah. That was kind of my plan too. If Russ was there in double digits, of course with Dak, all those kind of guys as well.
Yep.
That was kind of my plan as well. If everyone took quarterbacks in like the 4th or something, that's kind of what you got to do. So definitely get that. You think Mooney will stay in your wide receiver 2 spot all season, or are you hoping to fill that spot with a waiver pickup?
He's gonna be that's gonna be Devontae Smith.
Yeah, you think so? See how that chemistry plays out, and with AJ Brown as well going into that offense, see what happens.
AJ Brown isn't gonna do as much as you think he is.
I think he will. He will.
He'll be like a QB3 maybe, or a wide receiver 3.
Damn.
On the offense?
No,
he'll be 1. AJ Brown run the outside routes, run the streamer routes.
What do you got Devontae Smith doing?
He'll cut him in the middle or something on a slant. No. He'll be the wide receiver 2, I think. Maybe they flip-flop. Maybe they do. I just think, there's been a lot of good reports about AJ Brown already this preseason and in training camp. I think he kind of takes that role. But I'm not saying they're going to pass. Their running game with Miles Sanders is sketchy. They've already made a couple things. Yep. They got Boston Scott and Gainwell as well. But, at the same time, I think they just picked up Trey Sermon as well from San Francisco. So they might throw those 3 guys in the mix. Miles Sanders is still missing some time currently this week as we're recording here. So a lot of up in the air for that backfield. We know Jalen Hurts is a mobile quarterback, which, again, you got him on your team anyway. So
how about your boy Kenyan Drake?
Kenyan Drake, that is true. Going into some recent waiver moves from this week. Signed with the Ravens this Wednesday. He'll be behind J.K. Dobbins, who is supposedly maybe not ready for Week 1. He won't be 100% for sure by Week 1. But Kenyan Drake joins Mike Davis as well in the Ravens backfield. You're thinking Drake emerges in this backfield, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, at least for the first couple weeks.
until Dobbins is healthy, maybe. I agree, Mike Davis. I just picked up Mike Davis because that's the best guy available on the waivers.
Picked up Dobbins too, I think, right?
He was drafted.
Or who did I pick up?
No, you just picked up. Edwards you have as well. He's injured.
Gus Edwards, yeah.
Yep, Gus Edwards is injured as well.
He's sitting there on the PUP list, and I was like,
yep.
Yeah, I'll throw him on my team, whatever.
Yep, it's a
Pick
free
up
spot.
An IR slot.
Yep, free spot, so I might as well. I could see Drake and Dobbins, doing it. Drake is kind of more of a passing back. He's not a heavy run through the middle. I feel like Dobbins is kind of the same way. They don't have a real big truck kind of guy out there. And if you want to consider one of them to be it's Mike Davis. But again, he's kind of on the downcline of his career, I personally think. And again, I'm the one that picked him off the waivers. But nonetheless, your waiver pickups are, again, something you're going to want to swap every day, every second you hear someone explode. Yep. So, just picking up Mike Davis on my team, see what happens. He might outperform both of them and be the starter for the first 4 weeks of the season. Another kind of big move this week within the last couple days, I think this was actually yesterday, the last day of August, was Jalen Reagor traded to the Minnesota Vikings for a 2023 7th-round draft pick and a conditional 2024 fourth pick that could, I believe, turn into a 5th-round pick that year as well. Josh, your initial thoughts. What do you think this was worth it for the Vikings? Do you think the picks are whatever?
I mean, for a 4th and a 5th rounder, I mean, sure, fuck it.
Yeah, a 7th and a 4th, maybe 5th.
Yeah, fuck this. Yeah, that's cheap.
I think so too. Did he do great on the Eagles? No. Did he drop a lot of passes? Yes, but there was a different quarterback situation. Yep. Hurts was in his first year. There's a lot of question marks. And the craziest thing is the Eagles drafted one spot before us the same year we got Justin Jefferson. So Reagor, I believe, went pick 20 in the first round, and we got Jefferson 21 in that same draft. So, kind of interesting to see both those guys in the same year, both young, hopefully talents, right, going to the same team, and really we got 2 first-round draft pick wide receivers. So, I kind of think... I think NFL is going to kind of move like basketball here pretty soon, like the NBA, where we're just getting rid of all the picks imaginable and trading for these, I don't want to say Jalen Reagor's a stud by any means, right? But with these, 7th-round pick, that's like what? Isn't there only 8 rounds in the draft? So it's like one of the last picks we would have anyways. So it's kind of whatever for me. I don't really care about the picks. Kind of sounds like they're lining Reagor up to be a punt kick kind of returner to start. Feel him into the offense. He might compete with Osborne. Do you think Reagor emerges and kind of pushes KJ Osborne down the depth chart at all? Not so much. Do you think KJ Osborne loses some of his playing time to Reagor after week 4?
Maybe. I don't know. I think it's just depth.
That's true, because we got rid of, and we had to get rid of someone to sign him, essentially.
Yeah.
We got rid of, I don't even know how you say, Amir Smith-Marset, who was then claimed by Chicago Bears, so rival, but he was looking fine in the preseason, supposedly. But, I mean, again, I think there's more potential with Reagor, possibly. I haven't seen them both back-to-back. I just know Rager's seen some more NFL true playing starting time as a top 3 wide receiver on a team. So I think it's a good addition after week 4. He should be, up to speed with the plays and all that as well. Hopefully get some chemistry with Kirk, and in this new pass-heavy offense should be hopefully a good play for us, especially with Thielen being a little bit older, maybe gets hurt. Osborne and him slide up to 2-3. We'll kind of see how that plays out through the season here. Speaking of Vikings, Kellen Mond, we did waive and is now picked up by Cleveland. So I believe he's going to be right behind Brissett until obviously Watson comes back. Mm-hmm. So nothing crazy for Vikings fans there, but something worth mentioning. He was our pick, 2 seasons ago, I believe, in the draft. So 2020, I think, pick or something like that. So kind of interesting there. My guy and my, I think, upside pick of the draft, Brian Robinson, was shot at least twice. Running back for the Washington Commanders, shot twice in a robbery, carjacking within the past week here. Sounds like he's doing all right, and he's recovering fine. He did show up to practice in crutches, obviously, with the pack of Oreos. So we know he's not going to be doing much right now. Very questionable for week 1. Sounds like the coaching staff is kind of like, hey, you know, we like him. Obviously, he won the starting role over Gibson for a reason. We want to keep him. We just don't want to push him either. He's a rookie. We can use him next year kind of thing. So it's sounding likely he will still play this season. I'm just not sure if it's mid-season, after week 2, you know, maybe playoffs. Who knows? So definitely something to monitor there. He is now a IR eligible candidate as well. So if he's sitting out there on the waivers and you got a free IR spot, definitely worth a snag there. Gibson should see some upside for the next week, if not 4 as well, due to this kind of situation here. Another, I don't even want to say this is a big signing. Smoke gas, Josh Gordon signs with Tennessee. Could see him playing in that offense later this season. Looks like he's just starting in practice. So
yeah, I think he can stay on the waivers.
Yeah, no one definitely want to pick for fantasy right now. Something to monitor, certainly. But again, they got Treylon Burks. They got Robert Woods. He could certainly slide in there. But even on Kansas City, when he played last season, if not the last 2, he was more of a blocking wide receiver on, you know, double running back lineups and stuff like that. So kind of just a bigger tight end filling in at a wide receiver spot, so probably not fantasy relevant, but something to mention nonetheless. And the last one that I have that was kind of interesting, and I already mentioned a little bit, Trey Sermon going to the Eagles. Again, Miles Sanders is kind of, you know, he's been kind of on the downcline the past couple seasons. This is a big running backfield as well, with Gainwell as well as Boston Scott. So something to monitor there. I wouldn't rush to grab him unless you got a free bench spot. Take a shot on it, kind of see what happens there. Wow.
You lose.
With that.
That was a quiet game.
I know. With that, I think that's pretty much all we got for this one. Let us know if you got some fancy questions. If you want some start and sit. What do you got?
I got one more thing.
All right.
Okay.
I was waiting for you to have something. You always got something.
Oh, yeah, he has
I have nothing.
He's got nothing. We're going to be doing some weekly picks as well, is kind of our plan here. So every week we'll tell you who we are projecting to win each NFL game. We'll probably be seeing that next week if you're tuning in right now. So right before next Thursday's game, you should be seeing that video live. But nonetheless, like I said, if you got some start-sit questions, who you would draft, who you want to put in that flex spot, certainly let us know on Instagram at bet_records, as well as, you know, Twitter. We got the MMA page on there as well, and you can always email us at betrecords@gmail.com. Thanks again for tuning in to this one as always. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.
Coach Eddie, do trip. I like how she move it. I like how she move it. I got that new whip. Coach Eddie, do trip. I like how she move it. I like how she move it.